I'm backing up my truck, I'm gonna hook it up, loading up my boat with all my gear. I've been working hard all week, trying to make ends meet, spending time wishing I was fishing. Well, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing. Gather up your gear and come along. Well, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing.
This is Terry Wickstrom. Join Karen Cullum, Greg Claudio, and me as we take you to some of our favorite fishing spots from Colorado to Minnesota, the Arctic Circle to Central America and beyond. As we revisit episodes of Mountain States Fishing and Angling Adventures Television on the best of fishing with Terry Wickstrom.
You know, Bob, we're walking a little bit of a ways across the ice, but these fish traps are really the way to fish.
Oh, they're the greatest shelters.
Mine stays in the truck fully packed with all the stuff. I don't even take it out between trips. I take my Vexler out and charge it the next trip. We just pop it out of the truck, everything's there and ready to go.
I mean, and the great thing about them is, you know, you're so much more mobile in these, because, you know, where we set up to begin with today doesn't work and somebody's over here, we can all pick up and go.
Now we're going out across the lake to the river channel.
Yeah, we're going to start in the old river channel, the old South Platte River channel. We're on the southern end of Chatfield, and typically it gets the best ice and the earliest ice. And right now there's still open water down by the dam. You know, it's been safe to fish for about 10 days, and typically the first 3 weeks this lake's iced over, the fishing is just tremendous for trout.
First ice is usually the best. And the river channel, I imagine, is kind of a gathering structure point for these fish.
I think they follow it like a road. I think they move up and down the channel, just like we drive down the road.
I think so. I think that they, you know, I think you can't ever understate what structure means to fishing.
Oh, and probably one of the biggest mistakes I think most fishermen make is not looking at a topography map. And Chatfield has tremendous structure. There's 37 different gravel pits in this lake.
Oh, I know. It's if you without a map and without sonar, you'd never know where to fish.
And it's one thing, when I go to a new lake, I feel totally blind if I can't purchase a topo map.
Oh, I know what you mean. But I tell you what, we're just setting up. Everybody's getting set up. We're seeing fish on the electronics. You know, Bob, when you set up and you see fish on the electronics right away, that just gets you so excited.
That's it. The Vexlar is just the greatest little invention for fish finders, for ice fishermen I've ever seen.
Oh, it's incredible. Of course, now I'm excited to get down there and catch a fish. And of course, the first time my line's wrapped around my rod, so I got to get that straightened out.
Always.
There we go. Get down there and see if we can get these. Now, we might have to track them in with a spoon, but we've seen some already, so I'm going to get this jig down there right away. There it goes, down there. See it?
Yeah.
What I'll probably do is fish two rods. One, you know, people don't. An attractor rod and a more passive presentation is so good. Like, if we got a lot of fish here, a jig might be the best way to go, but since right now we had fish, we don't see them, I'm going to work this jig a little bit. If I don't see a fish, I'll put a spoon down the other hole, try to attract some in.
Absolutely. That's why I've got the minnow over here, and I think the minnow is a great trick, you know, where we're able to use minnows on these local lakes where we can't in the mountains. And there's a huge shad base in this lake, so you know, a lot of guys come out here and only fish a minnow, and some days they just won't eat the minnow, but it serves as a great attractor, I think.
Oh, you're right. It's the minnow. A spoon imitates a minnow. Now, this is probably a bigger spoon than we need, but since I got the grub down here, I'm going to go down with the spoon and see if I can draw some fish in. It's my grub sitting right off the little waxworm on a worm jig I've got down there. Let's see if we can work something in. Well, Bob, we're finally getting the fish together.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I've been waiting.
How long have we talked about going out together?
3 or 4 years, so.
Hey, I'm out here with Bobby Hix, and we got some. We've got Steve Salty with us, and Rick Miller, and
Dave Villalobos.
Dave Villalobos, and we're going to go out on Chatfield Reservoir. It's kind of your home lake.
Correct.
And we're going to do some ice fishing. And you've been kind of pounding them out here?
It's been really good. I mean, it hasn't been as probably as many numbers this year, but the size has just been tremendous on the rainbows. We've been seeing, you know, 3-4 pound fish coming out every day, and some of the guys you know, stay till dark and are getting some walleye and a few big perch too.
Well, we're going to try to fish for some trout early, and then we're going to try for some walleye. So we're going to do a lot of moving around. A front came through yesterday. We expect it'll be a little tougher, but we're going to go out and find some fish and have a good time.
That's what it's all about, just having a good time.
You know, one of the things, Bobby, we've been experimenting with our underwater cameras. And we were out, and, you know, I just pulled up to look at my jig to see if the wax worm was gone. With that underwater camera, we've been filming, actually, where you carry my new video at your store, and we're coming out with another video in a couple of years. And one of the things we're doing in the next video is we're going to have underwater scenes of the fish. But one of the neat things is we were able to see when the bait was gone.
Oh, I know it. That's great, isn't it?
Have you fished much with the cameras?
I have a little bit, you know, and I'm still learning really how to use the camera, I think, more than anything. I really think that on these bright sunny days, I found that it's much better to be in an ice house so it's dark. But
oh yeah,
when I have used them in the cloudy days or early in the morning and late in the evening, it's just tremendous to watch your lure and watch the fish come in and react to it.
Oh, I think I catch less fish when I'm using the camera, but I learn so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you know, they're not that high priced anymore.
We start at $300 and go up from there. I mean, there are some better cameras this year on the market that are, you know, getting up over $400, but you can start with some of the more basic ones for around $300.
And that's not much more than a depth finder. A Vexlar costs more than that.
And the thing is, what the camera is going to give you is how the fish reacts. I mean, you know, because, you know, do they want it jigged fast? Do they want it jigged slow? And you can actually watch the fish's response. And I would have never believed how subtle some big trout take jigs until I watched them a few years ago in a guy's ice house in 11 Mile in shallow water, and they can come in and they inhale it, and you can't, I mean, you're watching and holding your rod and you can't hardly feel it.
First of all, I wouldn't ice fish without electronics anymore. It's just so to know how deep you are, to know if the fish, to see your lure, what's going on. The cameras are just another aspect to that.
Here we go. Take it.
Yeah, I'm seeing some fish down there. You know, I'm gonna. You got him? Oh, all right.
Doesn't feel like the big whopper I've been catching, but he's a.
It's a start. Breaks the ice, so to speak.
Oh, he's a good one. He's a good one.
Oh yeah, nice fish. I'd help you, but.
Well, I was hoping you were going to help me. We'll get him.
Get him.
Oh, he's a nice one. Get his head up.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh yes.
That's what we're talking about. Chatfield rainbows.
Man, is that a beautiful fish?
How about that? Well, that's not a healthy fish, is it?
Chatfield Reservoir, we've been fishing for 15 minutes. I thought you said we'd catch nice fish out here.
Oh, it's pretty good. We were getting them a little nicer.
You know, not much wind today, starting to blow, but wind can really be a problem with these shelters. And Dave's come up with a really good system for anchoring these shelters down.
That's right, Terry. I mean, we've all fought trying to set up shelters when the wind's blowing, and you know, we've seen people's shelters blow across the lakes in Colorado and Wyoming for years, and you know, we've tried everything possible. And 3 years ago, my friend Dave Villalovis invented the ESD anchoring system, and it has just saved us the headache of losing shelters and just being able to fish when the wind's blowing. And
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to step out of the way, and I think this is a really neat setup. Why don't you and Dave show the people a little bit about what we're doing to anchor these shelters down today?
Okay.
Dave?
Well, originally we just tried to come up with a quicker and easier way that we can install these lag screws other than installing them by hand. Everybody's got, or most everybody's got the handle off their moorate. We just adapted it so it fit right on there. Remove the screw, slip it on there, slip the screw back in, and you get this.
And what this does for us is now we're able to drive the anchor right into the ice with absolutely no problem. And then this pops, turns, and she's solid.
It's not coming out. It's got a little magnet inside of it, holds that up into place when you're driving it, so that when you're walking around, it's not, you don't have your gloves in there trying to hold it. It's not going to fall out. It's locked in position. Removes it just as quickly as it'll install it. Fits with a 3/8 hex adapter. We can adapt it onto most cordless drills. It is a 3/8, so it takes a little bit bigger of a cordless drill to drive it. We've got two different anchors. We've got this one that we use for the rope tie downs, and then we've got another one that's for the floor shelters in the clams, like the one Bob's got there.
And this one, what we found with this type of anchor is with our clam type huts, what we like to do is we open up the shelter first, and we've drilled holes in the four corners. Until we put the tarp on, what we like to do is just open up the clam, put the driver in, and you can still use the hand auger style.
Slow it down a little bit just as it gets close.
And drive it right in. And this shelter, we've got one now in this back corner, and now our shelter's solid to where now we can put the tarp on, and it's made it so we can fish in any wind. Yesterday when we were out at Chatfield, the wind was just howling, and I've gone to fishing out of these fish trap styles, and we've kind of added a little adaptation to the fish traps, and we've gone to putting old snow skis on them. It helps slide them across mainly the parking lots. Why we did it, so we don't tear up our nice fish trap bottoms, dragging them across asphalt and dirt. And then we've just drilled 2 extra holes in each ski, and we can just drive them right down to front ski, back ski, and if it's real bad, we put them in all 4 skis. And our shelter's solid, so now we don't have to worry about fighting the wind. We're anchored in and we're ready to fish. And that's what it's all about, is being comfortable. Nothing's worse than going out and you have a nice shelter and you can't use it because the wind's blowing. Big trophy walleye.
First walleye of the day. Now I want to hold this. I want to show you Bob. Bob said, come on out here. We'll catch trophy walleyes. Now, Bob, my idea of a trophy is a little bigger than that. First walleye, though. We move for the walleyes. Let's go get them. You know, one of the things, Bobby, about ice fishing is it really gets to be a camaraderie kind of thing. I mean, look at the people we've got. We're out on a lake here and near Denver. We've got not only the people we came with, but friends of ours all around us. The bite's turning on, and you can sit here and tease each other and just have a good time. You know that?
I know it. That's what it's all about. You know, we just love to give each other grief.
Well, the thing on the ice, you can do that because you can walk around. It's not like being in a boat. You can sit and talk to each other. There's a camaraderie in ice fishing that doesn't exist in other types of fishing.
I totally agree. And, You know, like last night, I didn't catch any, my buddy did. And the night before I caught them and the other guys didn't, and we just give each other grief. There we go. That's what we're after. That's what we're after.
On the jigging, swimming jigging lure again?
No, the spoon.
On the spoon this time.
On the spoon.
Okay.
Yeah, a guy named Pat O'Grady out of Cheyenne makes these for Glendo. And Pat's been on Terry's show before, and that's been working good. Now we need your mama. Where's your mama at? But they're all for fun. I mean, I was jigging the other rod, and this one just flew all the way to the bottom. Ooh, there we go.
All right, there we go. Oh, there's the one we've been looking for. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah.
You know what? It's not a big fish. It's not a keeper, and it's like but fun to catch. It just shows you that the quality of this fishery. You know, it's a good 16-inch, healthy, fat walleye.
I mean, they're gorgeous.
Oh, beautiful.
And I mean, this lake is full of 5 to 15 pounders. We know it.
Oh, I know. And you know, with the number of shad, it can be hard to catch the big ones, but you can sit out here, catch fish, and have a great time, and at any time hang that big one.
I know.
Which I'm getting back over to my hut and try to do. And we're going to lose the bite here pretty soon. Thanks for taking me out. I had a great time.
Thank you, Terry.
I think just about everybody caught some fish.
It was a good day.
Everybody did better than me.
That's how it goes. Some days you're in the right hole, some days you're not. But
ice fishing's a lot of fun, and camaraderie, the people around, enjoying our friends. So get out, try ice fishing, get out to the local lakes, Chatfield, Cherry Creek. I mean, there's some great fishing, and so don't be afraid to get out and try it. Join us next week on Mountain States Fishing.
this doesn't feel right.
Probably a catfish.
Look at
I want to know how he fall hooks them when they're laying on the bottom. He's the only guy I know that can lay a lure on the bottom and fall hook a fish.